right. Well, hello. Happy 2026. So, we're going to give it a couple minutes here, let some people jump on, but I'm excited. This is our first show of the new year. And oh my word, we've got a recap tonight. We've got new stuff. There is so much coming up that I'm really excited to be able to chat with you about it. So, as you are joining the show tonight, do me a favor, do our audience a favor, and if you can, go into the comments of this video and just comment where you're watching from, because who knows, we have people that watch from all over the world, and it is like, I don't even want, like, saying that is exaggerating almost to me. But the more that I do it, the more I find out who is watching, the more I find out, hey, you guys watch from everywhere. So whether it's Florida or New Jersey, Arizona or California, maybe you're watching from, I met somebody the other day that has been watching our videos from Malaysia. So if that's you, hi. So that is so cool to me. And as we are starting this brand new year, I am super pumped about 2026 and all is coming into the Greenville Spartanburg area. Yes, we're going to be talking a little bit about Spartanburg, and I have more content, more ideas coming, and we are expanding the areas that we serve a little bit. So I'm going to start tonight off with a really cool comment. If you catch it here, you're going to catch it here first. As of yesterday, I can help you buy or sell houses in North Carolina, which is a lot of fun. I don't know how deep I will go into North Carolina, but as many of you know, if you've looked at a map, we're not far from the North Carolina border. So if you're looking in Asheville areas, Hendersonville, I got you covered there. We can do that now. It's cool. Yay! Happy hands. So all of this to let us know, where are you watching from? And what we do throughout tonight is we will be answering your questions live. Not only do I have 10 different developments to talk about tonight, things that we have talked about in the past that are coming to Greenville. Actually, I think we actually have 11 different developments that I'm going to talk about tonight. We have mentioned them off and on over the course of the last year, and I've kind of boiled it all down for you tonight just as a really good quick recap here. So I'm going to go over here to the comments and see who we have watching, and then we will go straight into it because, like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. Let's see here. We've got the Walshes from New Jersey. Hello. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. We were actually sick on Christmas. The flu went through the area here in Greenville. So many people were sick. It's the first time that I have been that sick in a really long time, but thankfully it was just me and my toddler. The rest of my family didn't get it. So hope you guys had a good Christmas and a good New Year's. Let's see here. Oh, hello. You're watching here locally. This is so cool. Oh, very nice. From Mount Pleasant. I used to go down to Mount Pleasant all the time. I managed Hobby Lobbies down there, believe it or not. Let's see here. John, you started me off with a question early. Of the available houses in the upstate, many of these houses were built within the last 10 years? I can actually pull that information. So we'll do that though tonight. Okay. And yes, of course, I will pull up the map. It's going to be map time. Map time. And oh no, I'm sorry you're sick now. That's awful. I don't I don't wish that upon anybody. It is so frustrating. All right. So with the first show of the year. So with the Greenville GAB, that is the name of our show. And if you are just coming across this show tonight, welcome. We talk about a lot of different things here, and I really do like to answer questions live, and we'll do that off and on throughout the night. I also have a lot of information about developments. I love to touch on that. Anything that I know is going to impact you guys as far as moving here, things that maybe you don't know. Maybe you already live here and this is how you get kind of a download of a lot of different information. That's what we like to do. Do run the team, of course, but I want you guys to have fun with this, and I want to talk about the things that you want me to talk about. So feel free to put those over in the comments. Let's see here. Oh man, Laura. So I mentioned that I worked for Hobby Lobby. Yep. There, I used to tell people at Christmas time I got glitter lung because Christmas glitter started showing up in like June. Let's see here. Let's look. Ari, starting questions. You've mentioned you live in TR, but if you had to choose a different location, where would you live and why? I love this question, my friend. So very fast, we'll just dive straight into some questions before I go over what we're going to chat about tonight. So if I did not live in Travelers Rest, I would want to live, I do enjoy the Greer area, or I would want to live, it would depend on my budget as well. I would say Greer, Simpsonville, or if I could live downtown or like very close to downtown Greenville, I would. And that's just because what I enjoy for my lifestyle. Greer, because you're close to things, you're not too far from the mountains, relatively safe, good neighborhoods, established neighborhoods. There's a small lake there with Lake Robinson. You're not too far from Lake Lyman. And overall, you have everything that you need. Simpsonville, though, I would look down towards the Simpsonville Malden area. If I could actually stick closer to Malden, I would. But that area, just because you're close to the interstate and you are also, let's see here. I hear dog barking in the background. I'm getting distracted. But the Simpsonville Malden area is because, again, close to the interstate, everything is down that way. I end up on Woodruff Road too often as it is now, but it would be nice to have access to a couple different types of grocery stores and the shopping, because I like shopping in person. Yeah, I think those are the two areas that I would want to live in. Let's see here. So I hope that answered your question. Ooh, what are my thoughts on the new Dell web community? Fun, you should ask that. We have a whole video that we did going through their model homes. You've probably seen it. If you haven't seen it, maybe we can ask Michael to put the link to it in the comments for us. So the Dell web communities are fun. I think they offer a wide range of options for people that want a true 55 and plus community. But what I think a lot of people don't know is that there are other communities here in the upstate. I will mention Ryan Holmes because Ryan Holmes has a community that I would say is very similar. It's in Spartanburg. It's not considered a 55 plus, but everything is geared towards that. And you don't have the huge price difference. Dell Web, I think you're paying for a little bit of the name and the brand. Their houses are beautiful. They're built by Pulte. So Pulte Home Builders, from what I've seen, is a nice home build, decent quality. They're on par though with, they build as many homes as, say, D.R. Horton, for example. So you have nice floor plans that have been thought out for, I would say, those of retirement age. But you have to be okay with the HOA, and you have to be okay with paying for the amenities. If you're not okay with all of that and having a little bit of a pricier home just because you're paying for the Del Webb name. So I'm very 50-50 on it. If it were me and you had the budget and you wanted that amenities and you want to be in a community like that, I think that's great. And you should totally do it. If you chafe against an HOA, like many people that I talk to, then no, I don't think it's a great thing. There's give and take, and you've got to be willing to do it. So let me know if that answers your question. Hey, Eric. Yes, I am staying warm. I will say my office was really cold because I left the blinds open last time I was in here. I don't know why I did that. Oh, thank you, Michael. Mike put the link to the Del Webb video in the comments for you. Let's see here. Laura, so I have thoughts here because I would actually say Ryan Homes aren't as bad at, like, the construction of a Ryan home is not as good, but I would say they are on par. Like Del Webb, I was really impressed with their build quality here. And I think the builder managers, like the project managers, are the key piece of making sure that a build is done well or if it's done poorly. Big thoughts and comments around that. And then John, yes, Pulte is new to the upstate. They've been here for maybe about a year and a half. We heard about them. We've been talking about them for the last 2 years. And I've got some really good builder agent friends that are that work for Pulte. So I would gladly take someone to a Pulte build right now. I haven't had a bad experience. I haven't heard of any bad experiences. That's what I pay attention to is, are we hearing about all of this in the network of realtors about the build quality? Oh, let's see here. Just to answer your quick question, then I'm going to dive into this. Does Del Webb is specifically 55 plus, but it is Pulte Home Builders. That's who you want to look at. All right, let's go ahead and we are going to jump straight in. I did not set up my screen first thing tonight. How dare I? Let's see here, entire screen. And I want this one. Just goes to show that sometimes we have to slow down and speed up. All right, so pulling this up, we are going to talk through, like I said at the beginning, we are going to do a quick recap of basically all of the developments that we heard about coming soon to the Greenville area back in 2025. I'm not even covering all of them. This is just a quick snapshot because I found some good recap articles. Okay. So first things first, and we are going to go fast. Here back in 2025, Unity Park was finally completed. If you have visited here and you have seen Unity Park, that is a big one. They did close down for all of December. And as of right now, I know that they're reopened. Everything's great. Also, out in Spartanburg got its baseball stadium. So the first pitch was thrown out there in 2025. But as we head into 2026, there is a huge push from Greenville on our music venues. So here we have the Peace Center's a music project that is finally really getting up off the ground. I've been reading about this for years at this point, and I think it's really cool. So it's the Peace Center is really behind all this. And we're going to talk about two different venues that are opening up. We have the Mockingbird here, and it is, let's see here. Let's see if I can't make this bigger. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Mockingbird, and it is a 180 person music club. So intimate, close together. It's right there on Main Street, right next to the river. And it really does actually look like this. So I'm excited to be able to go and visit these places. These buildings have been repurposed. I've watched them be so many different style of businesses over the years. But the Mockingbird, its opening show is actually on the 17th. So what, in 3 days, their first show starts. Then we have the Coach Music Factory, which is a standing room only live music venue. And it's set to host its first 3 live music events beginning in February. So again, like when people are looking at Greenville, and one of the big things that I always hear is, what is there to do? Where do I get to meet people? Well, right here, this gives you something to do, gives you something new. And here's the thing, then this music venue is one style. It's rock, country, jazz, pop, R&B, electronic jazz, and more. And who knows, maybe we'll see some of our more local bands more often because we have these venues. This is great. Then we have the larger venues, of course. So the Bon Secours Wellness Arena. And here's the, I thought this was a great picture. So this shows the arena itself, and then also showing the outdoor space. Then you have the parking garage over here. And they've even started to kind of show, okay, here's what the future may look like. This is something that, again, it's been talked about for a long time, and really this has been needed. This $300 million project, I mean, we've got a $150 million plan announced for the close. Now that they've done more work, they've planned more, it's now looking closer to 300 million. So just, doubling the cost of it. Everything's so expensive now. With this, they're really wanting to show off Greenville as the gem of the upstate. I keep hearing this term, seeing this term written, that as you drive into Greenville, if you fly into town, if you drive into town, you're most likely going to enter into downtown Greenville at one point or another by driving on 385, and it dumps you into downtown. You're going to drive right past all of this. So I think this is a really good project, and it's needed to be done. I mean, there's going to be space for more people to come into town, to be able to have more events, more large scale events. And I mean, you can read it right here at the Greenville News. Let's see here. Then we have True Line. We've been talking about True Line over at the West End for quite some time. Going to be located off of East Rhett Street, a 2,500 person capacity music venue and event space. So this is a house of blues style, plans to bring pop, hip hop, country, comedy, and various artists. Love this. Again, we've been talking about this. The location plans to attract high-level artists such as Lil Wayne, The Struts, Brett Young, etc., to appear. Now, they've been working on this building, this venue, for quite excited to see it really start to open up. Then we have the GE Vernova Park at Bridgeway Station. Now, this is fun. Vernova Park is where the soccer teams, the Greenville Triumph and the Greenville Liberty, are going to be able to play. Now, if you have started following soccer recently, or if you haven't followed soccer until recently, this is cool. I enjoy this so much. And obviously, there's other sports and teams here in the upstate. You've got the Greenville Drive baseball. You've got the Greenville Swamp Rabbits hockey, etc. And it's only expanding. But this is going to be really cool. So not only is it going to be the stadium that can host up to 600 people, it's also going to be used as an event space. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on tonight because this is technically located, this is Malden. And I think this confuses a lot of people whenever we're going to flip over to here because I want to pull up a map. Yes, John, it is map time. We're going to do this because we're starting to talk about locations. And I like my map in the multiple listing service over the Greenville, just a Google map. So right now, Malden is located right here to the southeast of Greenville. And that stadium is located just off of 385. Like, you're going to be able to see it from the interstate. And I think that's really cool because you don't have to get into the hubbub and the crazy of downtown Greenville. Being over here in Malden, I think that's going to be really great. So anyways, okay, back to this here. So that's the Vernova Stadium. Also, if you haven't visited and you're like, well, what do we do over there? Bridgeway Station is really cool. And you can get all sorts of different food, desserts, drinks, all sorts of things over at Bridgeway Station. There's also apartments over there. Pretty easy to navigate. All right, next, Pickle Yard is also set to open up in Malden. So Parker Group Development is one of the larger developers here in the area. And this is going to be a mix of racket games, the golf simulators, etc., and more located right there. I think what they're doing in Malden is fantastic and really growing the area. What a lot of people don't know, Simpsonville actually kind of bleeds over into Malden, and you're in Malden when you really think you're in Simpsonville. It's confusing. That's why I say this area is a bowl of spaghetti when it comes to the roads. It's absolutely crazy. All right, let's keep going. Then we have the backyard at Pelham, which is, they're actually taking over an old movie theater off of Pelham Road, and they are putting in different dining, entertainment, open green space, which is a big deal around here because we do life outside. That is huge. This project began last summer, and they are already renting out these retail spaces. So you have also a couple different restaurants as well. So I saw Indigo Kitchen, Biscuit Belly, thought that name was hilarious. Handel's Homemade Ice Cream, Coop's Crazy Chicken. I love seeing the use of older spaces that have lost what their businesses were and revitalizing them. Why not? Why not go ahead and do this? All right. And last but not least, we have Baby Bilo. If you have not been to the area or don't know this area very well, this space is located right on the outskirts of what I would say is downtown Main Street. Now, the Baby Bilo area I've seen some businesses come and go. It's never been really busy. I'm really excited to see them, for one, give it a new name, because who wants their space to be called the Baby Bilo? Locals will always call it that. They call the arena by its old name. It used to be the Bilo Center. There's a lot of people that still call it that. They don't call it the Bon Secours Arena. So this is a neat project. It is 44,000 square feet, and they're really looking to make it more of this boutique neighborhood shopping experience. There's a ton of space there. It's right there next to Main Street, but they're looking at putting in retail, restaurants, groceries, maybe a gym. Of course, Greenville can't go without another coffee shop, and just being more walkable. All of this here is exciting to see because it does lend itself to more walkability for the downtown Main Street areas. Moving outside of downtown, we talked about this one at the end of last year. In August, they finally broke ground for the Greer Sports and Events Center. Now, I've got a really cool thing coming up here in 2 weeks where we are actually going to get to talk to Mayor Rick Danner, who is notated right here. And I'm excited to talk to him about what he feels like this is going to bring to the Greer area. And I love seeing this area of Greenville, we'll say Greenville County, just go ahead and get better. So love seeing that. So that's our quick rundown of developments. There are definitely a few on here, some of the bigger ones from downtown Greenville that I don't see, but I want to go ahead and one of the, we'll call it a development that is underway right now is the Wheelsports Park Project. This is cool. If you want to read more about this, you can go to the greenvillesc.gov website and read about the Wheelsports Park Project. Now, this project is not just a park for skateboarders or, if you inline skate, anything like that. There's let's see here. I'm going to read it off to you. There's a pump track. There's a bicycle playground. And one of the things that I actually saw on this that I am very happy to see after so Greenville developed Unity Park. One of the main complaints that I read about, heard about, saw was that of the park, there was no shaded space. We do life outside. The sun is shining quite often and it gets hot. There's going to be a lot of shade space, which I think is really good and needed. This is what I was looking at. Now, this is why I think this is so cool. And if you are moving here to the area, or if you're watching and you're already here and you think this is neat, they have interactive maps all throughout this webpage on what this is going to look like. So all of the renderings, 3D views, you can blow these up, see what, let's see here if my internet will, oh, hey, we're going to look at the sky. That's fun. We've got, oh man, I'm messing it up. This is fun. All right. And all right, we've got a little bit of glitching happening. This is great. But as you can see, you can go and you can click and drag and move around on this website. I think this is neat. I think it's supposed to be completed. Let's see here. It's 10 acres worth of park. It is started and they do keep coming back with more updates. I haven't been able to see when they expect it to be completed quite yet. But again, I love seeing this stuff. Get outside, be active. That's huge to be able to do that. All right, a quick break from that. And I'm going to come over here to the comments, see if we have anything that's been coming up. Yes, the Mockingbird is going to be a cool place. all of that. Love the maps. Ooh, okay. This is a fun one. Nope. Let's go this one. Okay. Also interested in tiny home communities in the Greer area. And will I do a video on those? Okay. So the kicker on tiny homes is you either have to be able to purchase them with cash or they have to be built on a permanent foundation, meaning that they can't be trailered there. So if they are built on a permanent foundation and financeable, then absolutely, I will sell them without a problem. However, most tiny homes are actually built just like mobile homes, and they are not considered real estate because they are built on axles. And a lot of tiny home owners that I have met don't like to take it off the axles and make it a permanent fixture to the land. So as long as the tiny home owns the land that it's sitting on and we can make it a permanent fixture to the property and take the title from the home, making it a permanent fixture, then yes, I will sell townhomes or tiny homes. But until that, I will note where the tiny home communities are. There's 2 or 3 here in the upstate that are very popular. One that's here in Travelers Rest specifically, but we'll chat about that as we can. Let's keep moving on here because I saw this and I was like, dang, we need to talk about this. Make sure I can share my screen with you. All right. Greenville County is eyeing impact fees for roads. This is impact fees is what caught me because impact fees, I have heard about this being done in different states. And so what this article talks about, I'm very thankful to the Post and Courier for writing these, for Connor Hughes, etc., for putting these for getting this information. So Greenville County's Planning Commission has been pretty under the gun for, we'll just say it out, we'll just call it for what it is. Greenville's really poor road quality. I hear about it all the time because when you relocate from a different place, different states allocate more funds. Here's the thing. Greenville, for decades, I feel like, has not kept up as well as they should have with their roads. Now, that impact fee, let's talk about it because I know how that's going to work. I think I know at least how that's going to work. So in this, they are proposing a similar impact fee. So they being the Planning Commission, compared to Fort Mill or even New York, charging developers $30,000 per single family unit to fund local school districts, but they want to put it towards the roads. Now, what do you think happens whenever you charge a builder impact fees? You charge them more taxes on their build. You make things more expensive. Like, where do you think the builder is going to offset that cost? When I'm reading this, I'm not in favor because that's just going to make our housing more expensive. And I know that they want to make our roads better and they want to increase the road quality, and they've tried doing this in a couple different ways. So the penny sales tax was the most recent try to devote money towards road improvements. But this is something that I don't know. I'm going to be really paying attention to because impact fees, at least what I've heard about, as well as impact fees I've heard of being transferred on to builders. I've heard them also being transferred directly to a home seller, where if you sell a home in a state and you leave, you have to pay a tax. I'm looking at Washington State, Oregon, California. They all have something like that. And I'm hearing about it more and more often. So anyways, just going through this article, reading about what this impact fee is going and what they're looking at doing with this impact fee. Yes, of course, we need better roads. We need to improve our roads. And in order to keep up with the migration that is happening here to the Southeast, I just don't know if the right thing to do is impact fees. And maybe this is getting a little bit political. So I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. What do you think about impact fees? Do you know what they are? Have you experienced them? Let me know. Also, quick little blurb here. If you see the QR code that is up there on the screen, if you want to reach out to us at any point in time and ask questions, or maybe you are thinking about making your relocation here, or you're like, hey, Aubree, I already live here and I'm thinking about selling my house, I would love to talk to you. Scan the QR code. It goes to a contact page specifically for our team. And for y'all that are watching us tonight, if you have, you're in your exploring phase and you would like to have a digital copy of our relocation package, you should also get in contact with us. And we would love to email it to you. It's a really cool, 80-page document. It's different from the one that just so you know. All right, so we're going to keep on moving through here. We're going to skip that one. We'll talk about that next week or 2 weeks from now. All right, let's chat through more fees, because apparently that's what we do, is we talk about taxes and how basically everybody wants our money. So Malden is proposing a $2 per ticket facility fee for GE Vernova Park. So the soccer stadium. And what this is they are proposing that for every ticket that's sold, they are going to put an extra $2 fee to help just basically pay for the facility. I don't know if they would ever take it away. And specifically this project in Malden, so the stadium itself is set to cost, expected to cost more than $28 million to build and get up and running, where Malden itself, so little city of Malden, is contributing $4.5 million of that $28 million budget for infrastructure, and then also making sure that there's really good seating within the stadium. Now, it's up for final approval still, and the fee is set to offset expenses. This is the stuff that I look at, though. I'm like, okay, why does something cost what it's going to cost? And that doesn't just apply to housing. That applies to all sorts of things. So they're also looking to authorize $2 million of this budget to be put towards, from the transportation fund in Malden, to put towards a citywide repaving project. So there we go again. We are looking at making the roads better, because they're just not good. Let's see here. And then they're also looking at repairing all of the sidewalks along Hyde Circle. So when I'm looking at all of this, they're like, okay, part of this as well is to sell off the old and or damaged public works, fire trucks, police vehicles, different equipment. But there is this fee that they're looking to pass on to everybody who buys a ticket. So it's like, okay, we saw this information over here. That's cool. It's a really neat development, but are the tickets just going to keep getting more expensive? Who knows? All right. Let's go over here. Just kind of quick look at comments. Hi, Brian. Hey, look, it's our lender over in Simpsonville. Brian was I think, Brian, you are our last show of 2025. I think we may have done a recap of 2025 after that. I don't remember. Yep, Serious Cash. John, let's see here. Oh, yeah, you probably have. Here in New Jersey, we have to pay an exit tax if you sell your house and you do not buy another one in New Jersey. It sucks. I agree with you. I have heard about this. It is not cool. And then let's see here. The weather is supposed to be cold up there. Oh my word, it's so cold. So right now it is, oh goodness, I don't know what the temperature is outside. Last I checked, it was in the 20s. And that's really cold here. Tonight it's supposed to get down to 19, and tomorrow it's supposed to be cold. And then Saturday it's continued to be cold. Saturday into Sunday, there is a slight chance we could get snow. We could get actual accumulation. So batten down the hatches. Make sure you buy your bread and milk so we can all have French toast. And that's what we do down here in the South. All the bread, eggs, and French toast will be gone from the grocery store. What do you guys buy stuff up north whenever it snows? Is that normal? Or is that just a Southern thing? Okay, here we go. So another beginning of the year article here. Let's see here. All right. Well, we've got a video of Santa's up here at the beginning of the article, but best places to live in the upstate South Carolina, perfect fit for every lifestyle. Now, here's the cool thing about this article. They went through, and of course, I will tell you straight up, Greenville showed up as #1 relocation place in the state of South Carolina. And they broke this down based upon cost of living, what it takes to actually live comfortably in the area, safety, and then they also broke it down by unemployment and walkability. So we've got housing prices, etc. So why move here? And what might be a deal breaker? This is what we talk about in almost every video we do on this channel. But I thought it was really cool to see it in an article. And I thought it was neat to see Spartanburg show up in this too. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We might be doing some more videos on Spartanburg this year. So, of course, Greenville, #1, showed up. Median home price is $325. Now, up in the article, it does say that to live comfortably in Greenville, you really should be making somewhere around $90,000 a year. And I thought that number was really interesting as a median income to live comfortably. I want to know more, like, what algorithm are they using to basically come up with that? But I thought this was neat. It actually lists out the Houseo is their source. 10 best places to live in South Carolina. Looking in a place that is not Greenville or Spartanburg or Anderson, or you're not sure if it's an area that I cover or our team covers, reach out to us because we'd love to make a connection for you. We know people all over the place. Also, I mean, let's mention Lexington here, coming in at #2. Safety rating right there, low unemployment, very low walkability, so you have to have a vehicle there. But median home price is fairly low. Hilton Head, very high median home price, right there on the coast. Very good safety, walkability is, you've got to be able to drive places, and unemployment rate, no issues there. Spartanburg has one of the lowest median home prices. I actually have a house listed out in Spartanburg right now for $200,000. We'll probably be doing a price adjustment to even drop that lower than 200,000. But see these safety rates? This is something that we talk about all the time whenever we're talking about Spartanburg, and just talking about its overall like jobs, people who live there. What do you do in Spartanburg? We're going to talk about all of that more. Let's see here. Myrtle Beach shows up right there in the middle. Then we've got Rock Hill. I hear like a decade, 2 decades ago, Rock Hill was not that popular. It was just this tiny little town. I remember. And over the last 10 years, seeing it explode has been really interesting, being a suburb of Charlotte. Let's see here. We've got number 7, number 8 coming in is Charleston. I find that a lot of people they don't actually live in Charleston. They're going to live in places like Mount Pleasant or Somerville. There's a few other places outside of Charleston people land, but those are the 2 big ones. I've got a friend that lives in Somerville. But look at this median home price in order to live in these areas. Somerville is probably the most comparable to Greenville whenever it comes to house pricing and just what cost of living is going to be. All right. Next, and we've got a couple more things and we will be done for tonight. This is something that I thought we should talk more about is when you're here, people want to know what's happening, where can they give back, and where can they go have fun. So Talk Greenville did release its 2026 community and charitable events calendar. One of the top volunteer places that they mentioned was Meals on Wheels. Our team has gone and helped. They are always looking for volunteers to deliver meals and to package these meals. They're so easy to work with. So if you are looking for a place to give back, Meals on Wheels is always looking for people. Front Porch Housing, we have also helped with Front Porch Housing. Anything that has to do with our community, we want to give back. So there are several events that happen throughout the year that raise funds and awareness. And basically what Front Porch Housing is, it's a local charity that is there to help get people back up on their from it could be single individuals, it could be families that just need a step up. They need somebody to help them get their feet back underneath them. We've gone and helped clean and mildly renovate apartments in Front Porch Housing. They do so many good services for the area. And if you're looking for a place to give back, Front Porch Housing is a really good organization. Then we also have 2026 adaptive pickleball. Pickleball has become such a huge thing, but what about people who can't necessarily get out on the court the normal way? So they have this organization does every first Wednesday of the month. Now, I've not had the opportunity to go help out with this one yet. And they so we've got first Wednesday, second Monday of each month, different locations, but it's all adaptive. They have the right rackets, people in wheelchairs, people who need help holding the racket. I think this is really cool. Again, I love whenever people get out and be active. Then we have the Greenville Jewish Film Festival. That's coming up. And pretty much this gives a calendar for the year. This is a massive article. First Fridays here in Greenville, we will talk about this probably as we continue to do our show throughout the year. This is something to do. We have a video that we actually did. Golly, we did that video a while ago where we were out and about downtown Greenville on First Fridays. They have galleries that are open. music. They shut down the top part of Main Street next to the Hyatt. It's a lot of fun. Book Club Upstate International. That's cool. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in concert. Greenville Symphony Orchestra. This is one of my bucket list things to do with my kids. Then we have at the Peace Center, Les Mis is coming into town. Golly, there's just so many good things to do here. The month of January is packed. And then same thing, it slows down in February because you've got Valentine's Day, etc. But if you're looking for things to do in Greenville at any point in time, all you have to do is come over here to this calendar, and it's really, really cool. All right. Next one. Let's see here. I think we just talked about this. We did. I have this up here twice. Last but not least, the final development that we are going to talk about tonight. We have talked about this before. This is one of the most in-depth articles that I have seen recently on the Bolden Street project being developed by the Verde Group. So Verde Development Incorporated is massive over in the Verde Road, Lawrence Road area. They have a lot of different projects going on, but the Bolden Street district is probably one of my favorite ones to watch because there's nothing over there except for the motor mile. So being able to have something else show up and to use that space, I think is fantastic. So this article has a ton of good interactive maps that you can go and expand. You can really scroll into this. The Bolden Street development, though, is a 90-acre development, and they're really wanting to make sure that it is accessible, which means that they're going to be connecting it to the Swamp Rabbit Trail. The Swamp Rabbit Trail, though, there are actively between Greenville City and throughout the county trying to expand this trail to make it even longer. But with all of this, this is what we're looking, the design guidelines of this. Of course, you have the trail right here, transitioning, and then the heart of this project. This is one of those that we are going to be watching for quite some time. It's just down the road from many of the larger motor, we'll say, car dealerships. And like this is exactly what it looks like right now. We were over there not too long ago, me and Michael making a video, and just lots of concrete, but nothing there. This is going to be, they're going to be putting in 1.5 miles worth of Swamp Rabbit Trail, 2,900 residences, 500,000 square feet of office space, 750,000 square feet of retail space. This project, he says right here, we are going to be talking about this development most likely for the next 10 to 15 years. They have been planning this, and they are really looking to get this started. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for what we have coming here in 2026, and very, very interested in what is coming down the line here. So as you know, we are always putting out information that you guys want to know. It's one of the things that I love about what we do here. So if you have questions, or as we go through this year and you're like, oh, I wonder what Aubree has to say about that, we're going to be bringing this stuff to you as soon as it drops. As soon as we know about it, we're going to talk about it. And I'm okay talking about things too that I'll give you my opinions of it, but it's just that it's my opinion. That's what we're going to do here. Now, I want to go back here. I'm looking through the comments. I know John had a question that he started me off with tonight and I didn't quite answer. So his question was, of the available houses available in the upstate, how many of those homes have been built within the last 10 years? So before we do that, we're going to quickly, let's see here, what time is it? We've got a couple minutes. I am going to do this and I am going to show you, because I did say I'd come back to it. Of this, we're going to say age of a home is 10 years. So 6 to 10, 1 to 5. And we're going to add the to be built and new never lived in. For that, we're going to make these, let's just put in solds for the last 12 months. 8,267. John, that right there tells me that, let's see here, what happens whenever I take single family. So there's roughly 2,000 townhomes or mixed use homes, and there's 6,700 single family homes within the last 12 months per MLS. And I'm looking at this number right here. So I think that's pretty cool. And they are all over the upstate. So I'm not going to pull up the map right this moment, but I wanted to answer that question specifically because I thought it was cool. So, all right, y'all. Well, with all of that, if you want to say hey to us, if you are thinking about this area or you're like, Aubree, this was really cool, I want more information, or I love your relocation packet, whether it's the free one that we will snail mail to you, I'm partial to that one, or if you want a digital copy, which is completely different from the one that we mail, reach out to the team. We would love to give you more information, and you should tune in. Now, we won't have a show next week. I'm going to be out of town, but the following week, I have a special guest that is coming to the show. I'm super excited to talk to him. So Thursday night, 8 p.m., tell your friends, and I will talk to you then. See you in 2 weeks. Have a great time. Nobody freeze to death. Talk to y'all later. Bye.